Welcome to the Just Heat Pump podcast. My name is Xerxes,
I'm Aaron.
and today we are talking about rebates, incentives, and getting your heat pump paid for with government funds. How fun is that? And utility funds, I should say. I mean, let's just jump right into it. Very luckily, we have Aaron Shine here, one of the rebate experts in the region. Just
Very
through,
kind.
Yeah, well, honestly, your article has gone not quite viral, but pretty close. So let's talk about it. Let's just jump right into federal rebates. Or do you want to give an overview first?
Yeah, we'll give an overview.
Great.
There are many rebates available throughout Colorado. We're here in Denver, so we're going to stick to Colorado. Many rebates available, sometimes 5 to 6 stacked on top of each other. So I just want to roll through what's available. And in the end, the answer is you have to check with your local utilities and city, county to make sure, because what resource might be online may not even be available anymore. It's changing so quickly these days. We're spring, end of April 2025 right now. For instance, Denver City just took their rebates down because it was at capacity. And that happened 3 weeks ago. You get an email that gets sent out and it just says no more funds available. So this is changing quickly. It's fluid. And again, you can check with us or you can check with your local utility and city, but we'll start at the top. So let's start with federal. As of now, spring of 2025, there still is a $2,000 federal heat pump tax credit. And as far as we know, you got to check with your CPA, of course, but that includes heat pump HVAC systems and heat pump water heaters. So if you do the two in the same year, you'll get a max $2,000 for both of them. If you do electrical upgrades, there's also a $600 federal tax credit for an electrical upgrade that can go along with that.
A lot of people miss that one.
A lot of people miss the electrical panel upgrade. It could be a panel upgrade, but it could also be electrical circuit upgrades that are needed for heat pumps, because when you electrify the home and move away from gas, you're naturally going to need more electrical systems installed. So that's part of there. So $2,600 total on the federal side. Here in Colorado, we have a $1,500 heat pump tax credit. That is shared by the contractor and the homeowner. It's an instant rebate. It's an upfront discount on the proposal, so you as the homeowner don't pay that. And after $499.95, the contractor pretty much decides, what they're willing to share, because as a contractor, we don't get that tax credit until tax time of the following year.
Also, that incentive program, you have to be vetted and qualified and approved by the state.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
it's a limited list of contractors that can access that one.
And there are a number of certifications and insurance requirements. So if you're on the list, it's a good indication that the contractor is up on all the certifications.
And that's something we discount up front for our customers.
Yeah. We discount the $1,500 upfront fully for our customers to keep it easy and to keep the cost down for homeowners. So we as heat pump installers do the full $1,500. Others do too, but there might be some fluctuation in the proposals with that number. So next up is Xcel Energy, because it's the biggest utility here in the Denver metro area. And as of January 1st, they tripled the rebates for heat pumps. And the heat pump rebates actually get up to about $10,000 or a little bit more than that.
Sizable.
And this is that's for a bigger heat pump for a residential home. Typically, we see rebates end up anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 for a typical residential home. It's based on a specific calculation, which is what does the heat pump perform at heating-wise at 5 degrees temperature? And there are some other requirements too, but there's a specific calculation for this. The great news is they tripled January 1st, and they pay for a good chunk of the heat pump install in Denver right now. The funds are limited, and I know, Xerxes, you have a bit more information on where these rebate funds come from.
Oh, those funds? Yeah, speaking with our contact at Xcel, who manages the rebate program, she had informed me that these are ratepayer-based incentives. So they actually come through as funds from Xcel bills. So everyone in Colorado on Xcel's utility is helping to fund this transition towards cleaner heating.
Yeah. And Xcel has a stringent program with these heat pump rebates. They have an audit company that keeps track of contractor work. They audit our physical heat pump installation work. There are stringent requirements on the equipment that you need, and they're essentially very cold climate heat pumps that work down to 50 degrees or into the negatives. And we as a company only do the coldest of cold climate heat pumps for that reason, because they need to qualify for not only Xcel's rebate, but all the rebates and incentives across the board. And that goes into the next group, which is the city and county rebates. So I'll touch on a few of these as examples. The short version answer to cities and counties is you need to check with them. You can check with us or check with your local city and county websites to see what they currently have available for funding. But Denver, the city of Denver, just ran out of funds for this year for heat pumps. That ended about a month ago, as of late April 2025. So there are currently no more funds available or allocated from the city of Denver. Boulder City and County have a good program going. You can get 400 from, I believe, the county and 900 from the city if you're within the city limits. They also have bonuses for other rebates that go along with heat pumps, such as air sealing installation, heat pump water heaters, EV chargers. And we work with a lot of homeowners who are fully electrifying their homes, and the heat pump is one of the biggest projects you'll do as part of that. If you qualify under AMI, which is the income qualified levels throughout state and cities, there are big bonuses and incentives for those levels. So be sure to check the AMI rates. For instance, up in Boulder County, you can get up to $4,000 for heat pump incentives if you qualify through the AMI program. There are other cities around the state. So you can see how these really add up, and they stack on each other. So they don't take the place of the other, they actually just add up.
Golden has a great incentive program as well. $1,200 for the heat pump, and then if you're income qualified, it doubles to $2,400. So
that's right. And they piggyback off of Xcel Energy's program, so you have to get the Xcel rebate, then you qualify for the heat pump rebate in Golden. And as a homeowner, just to let you know too, some of these come later on. It might take a month or two or even 3 to go through the whole process. We, as heat pump installers here in Denver, take on as much as we can. For instance, the Xcel rebate, we take that on as a company, so you don't have to deal with the paperwork and delays and things with that. And that also really significantly decreases your upfront cost for heat pumps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you reminded me of in Golden, the process is as part of the application for that rebate, you submit the approved paperwork from Xcel.
Right.
So that's a couple of months, and then add on to that timeline wise. So these things can be stretched out.
That's right. And there are a number of motivations internally and externally for all of these incentives throughout the state, but a lot of them piggyback on each other, because if one's done their due diligence and research and set up their program, then oftentimes it seems good enough for smaller cities and others to add on to that for even more incentives. So
yeah,
it's great. We're lucky to be in Colorado, in this state, with so many incentives right now for heat pumps.
We have the best incentives in the country.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really
you stack
incredible.
them up, and those numbers are, from a percentage standpoint, the best incentives.
Yeah.
But let's talk about risk. I mean, there's a risk of not getting some incentives, or
Right.
maybe thinking that you're going to get an incentive or 6 incentives, and some don't come through. So
Right.
what are some of the key things to look at in making sure that you can qualify for those incentives? Because once that machine's installed in your house, it's kind of too late, to go back and change the equipment or fill out that paperwork correctly. What are some key things to look at from a qualification standpoint?
That's a really good point. It depends on what organization or kind of incentive system is set up, but I could just run through a few examples of this. One would be, you have to make sure you have qualifying equipment across the board, which really means, as a safety step or a short version, you have to have the coldest climate, latest highest efficiency heat pump equipment available. That will really hedge your bets in terms of qualifying across the board. To run through the different incentives again, on the federal level, it's got to be Energy Star rated. On the state level, you have to have a matching Energy Star rating on the, let's say, indoor and outdoor heat pump equipment.
Okay.
On the Xcel Energy side, there are requirements for COP rating, coefficient of performance, HSPF2, SEER2, EER2 ratings, AHRI certifications, the NEEP list, and system sizing.
Xcel runs pretty deep.
Xcel runs pretty deep. You have to do ductwork testing and make sure the airflow requirements are correct.
That's right.
You can see how it can make your head spin already with the requirements just from a contractor perspective. But if you're a homeowner and if you're wondering on any single one of these, just please reach out to us, because we are talking about thousands of dollars and we want to get you those funds if at all possible. And then back to Denver's program was extremely stringent. They might start it up in the future again, but you needed pictures of the electrical panel. You needed pictures of the labels.
Before and after.
You need serial numbers of all the equipment installed. You need permits. You need records of permits, I should say. The longest list was Denver, the city and county of Denver. And then you submit Xcel separately. Some of the programs you need to pre-approval. So there's pre-approval, and then
that's a big step.
There's also submitting after the fact, and you need to know whether you need to reserve the funds or to see if the program's still available on the back end if it's not pre-approved. And then with the cities, the specific cities and counties, they're going to have their own list of rules too. So those are some of the things to watch out for, many things to watch out for to ensure that you get these incentives.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple of programs suddenly cut.
That's right.
So sooner is better.
Sooner is better. These are limited funds. It is fluid. It's changing all the time. We will do our best to do update videos along the way, update our blog posts. Be sure to check out our blog post, just heatpumpsllc.com. Click Learn up at the top menu. We keep track of everything we can in terms of the major rebates going on in Colorado right now. And we're going to try to do a lot more update videos as well, just to keep everyone informed of what's going on.
Yeah, and good luck with your incentives.
Good luck. Yeah. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.